Oh, Mi-Soul TV, welcome the one and only UK rapper, Ty.
Greetings, people.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, okay, so just you took off your glasses. So.
Cool, it's a natural interview.
Okay, right. Yeah, so it's an interview. I've wanted to get Ty down here for quite a few weeks now. I don't write questions down. We're just gonna have a conversation and find out who Ty is, turn it off, and what he's up to at the moment. So yeah, Ty, welcome to Mi-Soul TV.
Shaq, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Second time I've been here, but this is the first time I've actually been to Mi-Soul TV. It's all big and bashy over here. It's an honor to be on this station, to be on this show, and just to basically support this kind of network. I feel like there's changes in the UK music industry, and this is one of the solutions.
Okay. So if I like where people always phrase this question, but if I landed on Earth today as an alien, and I met you, and I said, you said to me, you're Ty, what do you stand for?
I stand for good music. I stand for good energy. I definitely am a champion of my people's struggle, particularly on this particular planet. So if an alien's coming in wondering what's going on, and I say my people, I said there is different peoples, there are different groups, and unfortunately that's how history has let it be. So I definitely am up for raising up the profile and the esteem of black people and widening black and white understanding of each other, definitely.
Yeah, I see that a lot by some of the stuff that you will post on your Facebook thread. And it can be anything to do with black history, or recently I saw some children in Africa, and you asked the question, does anybody know where this is? Because you wanted to find out, and I looked at the dance and I was just like, wow. And you could see these people you could see they didn't really have anything,
But they had everything.
Yes, yeah. When they were dancing, you could see that they were happy.
Yeah, they were happier than you see children here happy.
Yeah.
I think I want to just widen this thing. Is like, for me, what I do with Facebook is I post or repost things that I see in my thread, because I have a wide variant of friends, and it's really about getting people to ask questions. So it's not just about black history or black's problems. It's really about me and you versus the machine, and looking at particular things. So if there are particular scandals, we'll look at it, because at the moment, as far as I can see, us growing up, we've been kind of subjected to just being an audience and not having a voice. You know, if something happens, if a plane crashes, we just got to listen to the information. We can't talk about it and be heard. And I really want to use Facebook as an opportunity for people to kind of speak about certain things, get things off their chest. And also what I've realized is rally people into action, because, you know, talking is cool, but it's good to actually rally people into action and get them to actually speak on things, and then actually force certain things to happen, whether it's petitions or marches or anything that's really about getting people to not just sit in a house and sip a cup of tea, but actually say something.
Yeah.
Because when you speak, you educate or you enlighten and illuminate any situation with information only you can give to the table. So it's always, we've been dumbed down to think that we can't contribute towards each other's learning, and we can. So I use Facebook to do that.
Yeah, because I've seen it recently with the disappearance or kidnapping of the girls in Nigeria. So I saw how you
mobilized
people, and
yeah.
there was a petition.
There's a protest.
Yeah.
There's a couple of protests. There's 3 protests outside the Nigerian embassy in Charing Cross, and loads of stuff. I mean, I didn't organize all of that. It was just, I just helped mobilize my circle of people, or my net of people who have nets of their own. And we just took it to the bridge. Like, I was really annoyed at the idea that 63 girls could go missing and be kidnapped and it not be an issue. Whereas, and I knew that if we lived in the UK and 63 girls went missing from the UK, the world would stop. The world would literally...
I could say to you, one girl, if it's the UK.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention any names, but every month, every
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
the same girl.
But that's
news
but
comes
that's
up about.
but that's kind of expected of the UK. We kind of, as you grow up in the UK, you realise that if you don't realise it, you don't realise it. But if you do realise it, you realise that the news centralises on certain things. So when an English person goes missing in a country, it's important. You know, when, you know, all of these sort of things. And I think these things are so subtle that sometimes you start to actually view yourself as not as important. And that's the reason why I raise issues on Facebook, because I feel like there's a lot of unprogramming that needs to happen.
Okay.
And musically, I try not to, because a lot of people assume that, oh, because of what you do here, this is what you do in your music. It's like, no, music is an art.
Yeah.
And as much as it's about informing people, educating people, I'm really of the mindset that when it comes to music, you have to do what you feel and not expect to dictate emotions to people.
Yeah, I say that, but listening to your music, you don't do crap music.
No.
Should I say, your music does inform, and there is normally a message, not in every single track when I say that there's a message, but it's not about Mitches and goes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
See what
I
I've done
like
there?
that,
See what I've done
I like
there?
that.
Daytime TV. But yeah, it's, you know, I can't remember ever listening to one of your tracks and there's been, you know, profanity or anything like that. So there's stuff that you clearly, as far as I can say, stay away from.
Yeah, I think I have an intention. My intention is to make music that I'll be proud of, that I can sit with my children and say, look, this is what Daddy did. This is what actually made you actually appear on this planet, sucker. This is what made this is what made it possible. Here's what paid for that pram.
Yeah.
And also, I was raised in an environment where, because my parents left Nigeria and came here, they raised us in a house to really understand legacy and to understand that we are the continuation of a tree, not the beginning of a tree. And so for me, in regards to culture, in regards to music, in regards to our stories, when I started listening to hip hop and started to have an effect in Europe and in the States and over here in the underground circuits, not in the mainstream. So people are like, oh, you didn't sell no records? No, you don't always have to sell records to do these things. When I started doing that, what I started realizing is that hip hop music, the actual intention of the hip hop music and the energy and the skill of itself is one of the only musics that actually brings together all peoples of all walks of life, of all different backgrounds. You can get them all in the same room in a way that you can't do that with it. Rock music does it to a certain degree, but then...
You think reggae does it?
Here's what I'm saying. Rock music does it to a certain degree, but when you look at it, most of the people that are listening to rock music have to kind of conform to kind of a rock sensibility, whether it's, there's a conformation, whereas in reggae music does it to a certain degree, but there isn't a confirmation in that respect. With hip hop, there isn't you don't have to conform. You can still dress how you dress. You can still look how you look, but if you like, you see videos of people dancing that have all walks of backgrounds, and there's something about it, and something about the culture, not the music. I'm not trying to suggest that Snoop Dogg is the soundtrack of everybody's life. I'm saying that the culture, the actual ability to be interested in turntables, to be interested in who made this record, who sampled this record and made it this record, the interest in the joy that you can see in children when they get to express and dance and do a few moves and, do this stuff and break, when you see kids break dancing, there's nothing like it. To me, that is all encompassed in the energy of what a hip hop aesthetic seems to do. It's one nation under a groove, for real.
Yeah.
And coming out of the house of growing up in a particular legacy and then being allowed to be part of this legacy and then to be allowed to be part of kind of the leading charge in the UK as far as hip hop artists that actually affect, not just make records or have fans, but actually contribute via events, contribute via schools and teachings and all those sort of things. I feel blessed.
Yeah.
I feel responsible. I don't consider the younger generation separate from myself, or I'm not trying to be a kid forever. I'm just saying I don't divorce them from being under my care, if that makes sense. Like, and that's when you say to me, there's a message, or you don't do certain things. I would say you would expect me not to do certain things if you left your kids with me.
Yes. Yeah.
You'd expect if a bus was coming down the road and your kid was in the road, you'd expect me to pull her off the road. You know, you'd slap me if I didn't. But I'm just saying, in regards to music, it's the same. I feel like, you know, we have a responsibility to make people have fun, to make people stay alive. And also, the most important thing for me is there's a relationship between music and culture in regards to people of all backgrounds, of all different denominations, have some sort of music wherever they go that they connect with. Eskimos, I'm sure they've got a music that they like, or a sound.
It's funny you should say that, because I was watching Jazzy Jeff thing on YouTube last week, and he said that he doesn't ever feel that we would exist in a place where there's no music.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, in regards to, if you look at hip hop is the reason why us lot are in the room right now. As in, we would maybe be meeting talking about something else. And reggae, you know, is possible, is a possible thing, but I don't think the wide net of scope of people and activities has nothing's ever challenged and done as much in regards to what hip hop is doing. Because because you mentioned reggae, I'll go back between the two. What I'm trying to say is there's so many levels of participation in hip hop music.
You've got the graffiti, the dancing, the music, actual music,
You've got
turntables, the rapper. Yeah.
Then you've got the production.
Yeah.
Then you've got the fascination with the breaks. Yeah. Then you've got you've got the collection of music. It just goes on and on. So to me, it's actually, they're all part of each other. Like, it's separating them as by genre doesn't even make sense, because if you like good music, you'll have some reggae.
I'll ask you a question actually, which I like to ask a lot of people. What's the difference between rap and hip hop?
Oh, it's simple. Simple. You ready for this?
Yep.
Do I look at the camera when I do this?
You can.
All right. So the difference between rap and hip hop is simple. Let me put it in a metaphor for you. Rap is a room. Hip hop is a house. Which one would you rather rent? Ooh. So let me put it to you like this. Rap is the room, hip hop is the house. As in, rap is a room in the house of hip hop. Hip hop is not a room in the house of rap. So when people look at it and, but this is hip hop, this is rap. No, hip hop is the culture. Hip hop is understanding the music. Hip hop is sitting on the tube and looking at someone when they come on, looking at the jeans they're wearing and realizing, oh, they probably like a little bit of hip hop. Or looking at their clothes and be like, oh. Or, it's a connection, it's a cultural calling card of all backgrounds. That, like, you might see someone wear a baseball cap a certain way and you're like, you're not adverse to a little Snoop Dogg, are you? You know what I mean? That's, whereas in rap is just pretty much the songs on radio, whether you like the artist or not. And whether you're fascinated with them and whether you chant, certain styles of music or you like certain things, that's cool. But hip hop is the vibration. Hip hop is traveling airport to airport to airport to airport and seeing that kids of all different backgrounds. I've been to Gaza, I've been to Israel and Gaza and done hip hop workshops, pumped hip hop and actually seen Israeli and children, Palestinian children dancing together. I've been a part of things like that. And hip hop can do that. Reggae can't, not really.
I'm not saying
I'm playing with Shaq. So that's the difference. I don't know if I extended it too much, but
I was not expecting that answer. But yeah, I just thought it's a question I like to ask different people, and you've given me a completely different spin on it. I'm going to be using that. There's anyone that room in the house.
Yeah, it's a qualifier. But to be honest, like, a lot of people that speak on it will have different interpretations. But then I would say myself and other people are probably overqualified in regards to answering that, because we are living testaments of this particular thing. And we, there's no Saturday job with Ty. This is what I do.
Okay.
So when you're asking me to a free collaboration, pay up. I'm not playing. Okay, moving.
Right, tell me about your albums, how many you've done, where you're at the moment. Give me that spiel.
Okay, so albums, at the moment, I think we're at 4. I think we've done 4. So there was Awkward, then there was Upwards, which was this album, which was a classic. A lot of people
got a lot of hair.
Went crazy
on that one. What's happened? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. So, yeah, I'm losing hair now. Then there was the Closer album, and then there was a Special Kind of Fool album, which was the last full album I did, which came out in 2010. I brought out an EP last year called Kick, Snare and Idea, which was received really well. And we did vinyl for that as well. I didn't bring vinyl with me today because I didn't want to cycle with it.
Why did you do vinyl?
I did vinyl because my belief is vinyl and record is a sacred testament and vehicle for hip-hop culture that is way beyond fashion and trends. So, you know, things change, mini disc, CD, DAT, tape, mini DV, but I think the record, the actual physical thing, it's an artifact. It's an actual real, and I think because I've been raised to actually understand and appreciate legacy and not just be like, oh, throw that away, oh, throw that away, oh, throw that, you know, we've been taught to appreciate these things. It's like we had to make the record and make sure that people had, you know, you can put it in a window, you can put it on a wall, you can do whatever you want.
What a lot of people have done.
It's
after
art.
they bought it, put it up, take picture,
It's art.
post it back to you.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But it's art, you know, like I'm really, there is a...
I'm going to admit something here. I still haven't got my copies.
That's
I
cool.
will get
That's
them.
cool. That's
I
cool.
will get them.
That's
Right
cool.
here.
That's cool.
It's
a good thing you
how
didn't
many
say
parts
that.
is it now?
It's 3 parts. It's cool, but we can sort that out. But you know, it's a good thing you didn't tell us before we did the interview. There'd be no interview. Moving on. So, moving on.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
I'll just
yeah.
absorbing that.
No, but-
like a threat. Anyway,
no,
it's all love Shack.
it's
Sorry.
Love Shaq D.
Actually, before he carries on, if you listen to the Love Shack, at the start of the Love Shack, every week, it's this man. The Love Supreme, ladies and gentlemen, it's him. He starts my show. Anyway, carry on. Vinyl, 3 parts, Legacy.
Legacy.
See, I've done
Yeah. See, so for me, with putting vinyl together and putting it out, there is a denomination with our music, whereas there's a kind of debasing of the value of making music and of also understanding that hip hop music is an art form, is a sport. So what I've tried to do in my last few releases is make the packaging, to make the music, to make the videos, all kind of visual, artistic interpretations that, you know, anyone that loves the music can turn around and be like, yes! You see, this is why I like this thing. Because this is, you know, rather than do this, 2p record, hey, what's up, bye. It's like I'm spending time, we're looking at it with a magnifying glass, white coats, stroking beards, trying to figure out what to do with that hi-hat. You know, we're paying and I think there has to be people that still give music that amount of attention. I was having this conversation in the car recently, and we was talking about how music, nowadays you can tell how long people have spent making music. You can tell it in a pop record, you can just tell. But then when you go back to like the Beach Boys and you listen to their music, you're like, and then if you watch the DVD, go on YouTube and watch the documentaries on the Beach Boys, come on now. Them guys are not playing around.
Did you see the video that Big Ted posted recently with that guy that done a Jason Derulo tune?
Yes.
That just goes feedback to what you said, because he actually broke, this guy was a bit of a geek looking guy.
Beautiful.
And he broke down how quickly it would take to make a Jason Derulo record.
Yeah.
And his finished product was actually quite similar to what, you know.
Yeah, he took all the elements and just like, this is what you do, this is what you say, then you say something cheesy, then you say something, and you know, he was quite non-disrespectful about it.
Yeah.
But I do think that with pop music and with hip hop music, there is a real lowering of the guard at the moment. And I try, so when people say, oh, you know, you've got a message and blah, blah, I'm like, I'm having fun. It's not all heavy over here. It's just that in regards to the appreciation, like, you know, we're appreciating the art form a little bit over here. There is no rush job. There is no 5-minute beat here. It's there is no 5-minute rap here. It's kind of and yeah.
I know that for a fact because I was trying to get hold of you for that same jingle at the start of the show, and he just disappeared. And then when he reappeared, I was like, "I'm really sorry, I buried myself in the music." And I was like, "Cool." He's like, I've got something for you though. So I'm like, "Yeah, well, whatever." What's your email address? Yeah, blah blah blah. Check your email address. Play. Wow. So, yeah, I understood because I was just expecting, a little.
I'll be honest. I planned to update that, but the thing is, the way that we work, because we work like composers. If I had done that in my home studio, in a proper studio, and because I did it with Deluxe, big up to Deluxe, and we were doing it in the middle of doing vocals for other stuff. Deluxe is a producer, a new co-producer that I work with as well. Yeah. And if I'd have done it like with me and Drew, the way we do it, there'd have been instruments in there, and there'd have been singing in there, there'd have been stuff going on. Getting excited, so we will revisit that. But coming back to the process, I think.
Did you know I do beatbox?
Huh?
Did you know I can do beatbox?
Did I know you can do beatbox? Yeah. Are you qualified to do beatbox in my songs? Slaps! Pew! Can you feel it? Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So I got hit.
You got to understand, we go back, we go further back. So this might seem a certain way, but it's not. Cool. He will have me in a headlock afterwards. Get that on camera.
So what am I whispering? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Deluxe. Production.
Yeah, production. So to me, one of the things that people don't know about what we do is that I take pride in every element. So, like Ben Machenji did the last 2 covers. He did the Special Kind of Fool cover, which is the cover with the wooden head that was carved from a tree in Brockwell Park and stuff like that.
How long did it take him to do that?
Oh, took him a while. Took him about 2 months. But he's a serious guy. Like Ben Machenji to me is someone that people should be interviewing because like his contribution to art, to hip hop, to health. He started that. He helped create that little gym, the outside gym that's happening in Brixton right now, where a lot of the youth are going to, and there's a movement there now.
Maybe you can put him in contact with me. We can do this.
Definitely. Big up, brother Ben Machenji. So, for me, the process of records and making records is something that people are not only becoming a little bit aware of now. I'm a little bit of a lost scientist in that respect, as in everything gets cut off. Like sometimes I don't speak. My mum's vexed with me right now because it's like, I don't get no call. And it's like, well, I'm doing the album, so you can come and see me. But
you're doing an album right now?
I'm working on the album right now.
Okay.
And when I'm working on the album, but working on an album for me is always splintered in between real life. Okay. So a lot of people say, like, of course that makes sense. I'm like, no, let me explain. Obviously, you have to go and brush your teeth and then go to work and then do your music. But what I'm saying is, when I'm working on a record, everything becomes about solving the puzzle. Everything becomes about, right, I've got this particular beat, or I've got this particular idea. I want to chop it a certain way. Like when I did the Carol Thompson record, I have to explain that here because I got so much support from the station with that record. When I did the record, I chopped the sample up, the Rare Groove record, and I'd been to a Carol Thompson, Janet Kay concert, and I was just blown away. And I met her son, big up to Annie, and I wanted a CD. I got a CD signed, and I just wanted to keep in contact. And then when I had that beat, I was like, you know what? I want to get a Lovers Rock singer, because I'm always about repainting the history. Like I feel like this is a music genre where you have to leave bits of gingerbread on the floor for people to come back to find things. Okay. And the UK that I live in at the moment is very political about the term black music.
Okay. Can I interrupt you there for a minute?
Yes.
That gingerbread thing you just said there. Last year, I went to see Ty at the Jazz Cafe, and probably should slap myself because I didn't really do any research. But when you played the introduction to Cheers, before you played, is it Like You Never? Like before you played Like You Never, that was when I worked it out. Before then, I'm listening along to this song, I'm like, yeah, but I didn't know that that sample was in there. And when you came out to that, and I was like, hold on a minute, that blew me away. That was a gingerbread moment for me. I was like,
I'm glad that it was, because it's not actually the sample.
Oh, I got it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So we spliced it together really well. So but that was part of the process.
Okay.
So the process was to do a show and for it to be seamless and to have bits here. The gingerbread moment was actually in the show was, we're doing a show and we're performing, and I'm this black 6 foot tall rapper, quite big, doing what I'm doing, dancing around, having fun. But then all of a sudden we drop a record that all of a sudden everybody in the room has an understanding, has a relationship with that piece of music. And that's my way of saying, you know, we're all here, right? We all come from different walks of life, but there's certain things that we have that absolutely resonate with us, all of us. And the point of that gingerbread moment was to say, we are all people. We are all music lovers. We all love good, good product. And, no matter where you were, we all were at different points. One person was sat on the left side of grandma's leg, one person was sat on the right side of uncle's leg, or someone was watching television. We all received the same signal and it registered. And that's what that was about. So we have triggers.
It wasn't in there?
No. Nobody knows the record.
Big Ted, Mi-Soul, done a good job of making
we cut
samples in it.
It's the same key as the piano sample.
So I'm not completely stupid.
No.
I sounded like it was in it. I went home and I downloaded it and I was like,
no. But so the process really for us with the show and I'm glad you mentioned that, is really to have a connection with the audience. It's not just about me doing the records. We've never approached making music or performing music from the perspective of, I'm now going to do the record that you love. It's always about, I'm now going to do the record that you love as an excuse to get close to you and then have some fun. Bang. And
well, I say last year, after I left that show, I was absolutely buzzing. I bought my ticket. I wasn't one of these like, I know him, so sort me out. I bought my ticket, and it was money well spent. It was an absolute honour to be there. It was
a nice thing for us because Jazz Cafe allowed me to actually program my whole show how I want. So most times with promoters, what they do is they book you into a show and then they tell you who's here, who's there. I was like, no, I don't want none of that. If you're booking me, I'm in control. As in, I'm going to tell you every single person, down to the lighting, down to which engineer I want, down to who I want supporting, who I want sub-supporting, who I want DJing. I don't want any, nothing, no strangers. I learned, you know where I learned that from? Damian Marley, the Damian Marley Nas concert. They take control. Their concert is ridiculous because they just buy the venue. They're not hired, they're not booked by the venue. They just buy the venue for the day. And then they this is what it's gonna be. We're gonna fill out this place. We're gonna have our stuff. These are the support acts. This is what it is. And, and I love that control. And I think it's important to have that level of control here in music.
You're gonna do that again?
Yeah, we're gonna do more. We're gonna do more events. I mean, people are screaming for us to be much more active in the event side of things because there's a particular calm or a particular trust that the audience have in my DJs, in Big Ted, in DJ Business, in myself, in my unit, in Breeze, in different, there's a particular warmth. It's not a soppy, it's not a teddy bear hip hop show. It's just more about people feel like, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm not going to fight with somebody today. I'm just going to have fun, and I think that's we really are trying to push that element. It needs to be that. It can't. People, the music industry is too quick to tether a violent angle to our culture. And
You were just about to say something about the term.
I was going to go there. You did cut me off.
We got back there.
And it's cool.
I was sitting there thinking, I need to get back to what he was saying. What was he saying?
It's cool. Let's start fresh. In this country, we are fighting a really subtle war that everybody needs to pitch in. At the moment, people have made it seem like, oh, if you've got a problem and it's the black music thing, then it's your problem. If you're black, it's your problem. It's not. It's everybody's problem. Let me explain. We all love this music, right? We love it. We dance to it. It's something infectious about it. In fact, we all love different types of music, right? You know, if you put on, what's his name, the guy that died, Nirvana. You put the Nirvana record on, I dare you to find someone that's going to stand still to that record. It's just not going to happen. So we all love different things. The problem we have is, in the UK, the term black music has become a thing where people are saying, well, it needs to be urban. It needs to be something else, blah, blah, blah. And we accepted it at first. Everybody was like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. There's a problem here. The problem is this. The problem is threefold. Might be more fold, but I'm going to go three because it sounds good. Okay. One, my mum is not urban. My son is not urban. I'm not urban. But the music I bring forth to the table is coming from a black perspective. And Stevie Wonder was coming from a black perspective. He made music that was for everybody to enjoy, but it came from his background, right? So to turn around the music term now and to soften it up and say, oh, but it feels a certain way, is ungrateful to what the background is. Two, a poppadom is a poppadom. Curry is curry. Nobody's changing the title of the food because other people eat it. Nobody's doing that. Flamenco, the dance, people that dance flamenco are all different backgrounds. We're not changing the terminology to make everybody feel welcome. But for some reason, we're slapping black people in the face and saying, yeah, we like your music, but you can't call it black. I feel uncomfortable if it's called black. This is the third point I'm going to make now. The real issue should be, no, you need to explain why you feel uncomfortable about liking something that's called black music. You need to explain it. I don't need to change it. You need to explain that. Yeah, shame.
What is it? Say again, just in case.
ThaiMusic.co.uk. The t-shirt is from Like You Never. This is a t-shirt that was specially made by 808 Shirts in New York, in America. And it's available on my website, which we'll get those details as well. And I'm working on the album and doing shows. So we're doing a few festivals and traveling, going to different countries and doing certain things. That's what we always do. And it just keeps rolling. So keep an ear out, join the mailing list, which will give you the links for that. And absolutely join the mailing list. Then you'll get all of the up-to-date information.
Okay. Thank you very much for finally coming down and meeting me. Ty, on Mi-Soul TV. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I was really touched, you know, because what I've been doing for so many years now has been under the radar. It's been, do you know what I mean? It's underground, it's not mainstream.